My first job was actually with KB Home in 1986. I actually worked on the mortgage side. And the first job, I started insuring and guaranteeing FHA and VA loans. Real glamorous job back in the day. And then kind of worked my way up a little bit there before I went to the dark side and went to the builder. I started actually in kind of a sales escrow marketing. It was the late 80s, early 90s, where you know how that market turned out. It was great in the late 80s, not so good in the early 90s. And so I kind of was a sales and marketing and escrow assistant. So I kind of got my hands into a bunch of different things. You know what? It actually wasn't quite like that. But down the road, it did end up being that way. And that person actually was Bruce Carrots, who actually sent me off to go train under Jay Moss in Las Vegas as a sales manager, because that's where the career I wanted to head to, was be a sales manager. And so I was fortunate to have people who believed in me and believed I'd be a good sales manager, and had me go out and work under Jay Moss out in Las Vegas. Well, actually, it was very forceful. What happened was there was a position that was opened in Southern California in the San Diego division of KB, and I put my hand up and I said, I want to do this. And I was told I could not become a sales manager because I had not been a salesperson. And I really didn't want to go to the salesperson's path. I really believed in the management side of it, and I really just wanted to be a sales manager. And I thought I could do it without, and I had given great examples of great people before me that had become great sales managers that had never sold a house. And so I really was pretty forceful to the point where I actually quit KB because they didn't give me the opportunity. And I really felt that confident in myself that if it wasn't going to happen here, I felt I'd hit the glass ceiling. And that's where kind of HR and Bruce got involved and said, listen, you're too valuable to lose. Let's give her a shot. And they put me with someone who had the experience and was able to help mentor me in that area. You know, it really wasn't part of my plan. I was just, my goal actually for a very long time was really just to be a VP of sales and marketing. And, you know, Jeff, you've been a mentor of mine along the way. I always tell people, if people ask me in the industry, and I'm not just saying this, but you were someone I aspired to be, and you became a national sales and marketing at KB, a VP of national sales and marketing. You were someone who helped me along the way. But I really always just wanted to be a sales and marketing VP. That was truly my goal, and I really thought that was where I kind of would end up. And I think what happened is along the way, I just loved the business. I just loved home building. And I really branched out of just being in my own area, not to the point where I would annoy other people, but really it was more of just getting involved in other departments and trying to have a broader sense, only for the pure fact I loved home building. I never really thought that I'd become anything but a VP of sales and marketing. And maybe that was a good thing, because it wasn't something I was striving for. It's just something that, because of the industry that I'm so passionate about, I kind of was led to doing and having a broader sense of the company. No, it's not. And I will tell you, it was funny I ended up becoming a division manager for Richmond. I was at their corporate office in Denver, and because of the background, my experience, and really, I give a lot of credit to KB Home for giving me they just allow you to learn whatever you wanted to learn there. I called it KB University for myself. I had such a breadth of knowledge of the industry, so I went to the corporate office when I was the VP of National Sales and Marketing for Richmond. I was able to share my experience at KB and what we did at KB, and they really were very interested in what someone else did at a different company. And when I got the offer to go to be the president of Las Vegas, which I had spent many years there with KB, you know, my boss said to me, and this is something that I probably should know more about, but he said to me, now, Liesel, you know, we want you to do this. We believe you can do this. But he goes, do you know anything about the accounting? And I looked at him and I said, well, I know that the credits have to be higher than the debits. And he's like, you're in. So I think in hindsight, I was fortunate. I will tell you, the very first thing that when I became a president was I got a fabulous, tough as nails finance person. And I believe by having that tough as nails finance person, and by the help of our corporate office with Richmond, they had a great guy there who helped lead me and helped really set me up. I mean, the corporate office always pushes you, you know, for your business plans. We know that even as VPs of sales, they push you to the point where you're just, especially with us, we'll say yes to anything. He really held me back and says, you're not going to promise them this, you're going to promise them this, and you're going to pass that, and you're going to show them you can do it. So it was really, I would say accounting to me was probably the number one thing that I wish I knew more about. but I did get the strengths in those areas to help me so that I could become successful. Well, I think the biggest thing is to really be open to the other departments and don't. Sometimes we in sales, because people look at us so differently and look at our salespeople so differently than the organization, is one is keep yourself open to the other departments, and because we can get very compartmentalized, especially the construction sales battles that we have. And I think the number one thing is to really not keep yourself compartmentalized. Keep it so that you're not a silo on your own and you're part of the team. And I would tell you, take opportunities to go out in the field with just you and the construction manager or VP, and even go visit your sales offices with him, go visit the sites and do things, and start learning other parts of the business that way. But you really have to be open to it. And I think sometimes we feel like it's us against the rest of the division because it's easy to pick on sales. That's the part where it's just so easy to pick on because it's just so subjective. It's not, where it's like you build a house, here's the floor plan, here's how you do it. So I think you have to really be open-minded to the other departments and the other areas. I think land is another piece that I think has actually really come easy to salespeople like myself. As long as I have the people who can do the numbers and do the things that back it, I think land's another area that I think we tend to hire in that position as presidents because they are the ones that bring the land and bring it's really very valuable to the organization. But I do think you need to be open to the other departments, other things, and you need to not forget, though, what your main job is to excel in is the sales piece of it. You have to have that down completely and then be able to be open up to the other departments. Well, somebody, I think, listen, I think you have to be very cautious. It's nothing worse than having someone's ego and arrogance, I think, can just destroy so many people. I've seen it with so many things. I saw myself when I was really starting out at KB. Someone gave me some really great advice about just how you treat people. And he said, Liesel, and he told me that he said this about me, and it stuck with me. I was 26 years old. He said, you treat the guy digging the ditch, planting the tree, the same exact way you treat the CEO of the organization. And he goes, and that's a gift, and you need to not forget it. And I will tell you, no division president cannot do it without their team. And I am successful because I had some smart people. I mean, it was smart people around me all the time. I never worried about someone being smarter than myself. I always wanted the smarter people. People said, what is your biggest number one reason for success? I've hired smarter people than myself. I surround myself by smarter people, and it led me to become the person I am today. And I really believe that. I really believe it's the team that does it. Thank you so much, Jeff.